Hi everyone, I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you my January wrap-up. So if you're new to this channel, in this wrap-up I'm going to mention the books I've read, but also the movies and the TV series I've watched during the month of January. This month I haven't read a lot because I had a lot of work to do for uni and it took me a lot of time, and recently I've been reading really slowly, so it's really a challenge for me to complete a book. And so this month I completed one book and I got in the middle of another one, so I'm going to mention those two. But I've watched a lot of movies because they were actually good movies at the TV, so I watched them and I'm going to talk about that now. So the first book I read was Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. It was the first time I read this book. I've read a lot of Jane Austen books, but never this one, so it was a huge premiere. And it was kind of a letdown. Mainly because I didn't really get attached to the characters. Elinor and Marianne, the two main characters, are nice, but I didn't really care for what happened to them. I mean, I cared for Elinor, but Marianne was just a pain in the ass sometimes, and so I just bitch, you deserve what's happening to you. You throw your heart and you throw yourself into this relationship without knowing anything about the dude. And yeah, it didn't happen. Things went wrong and not you deserve it, but you should have been cautious. Anyway, in the end, I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I'm going to do this at the same time. I also, in January, watched the adaptation of Sense and Sensibility with Emma Thompson, Kate Winslet is better, and Hugh Grant, and Hugh Laurie, and a lot of other people. And I liked it, but it's not one of my favorites. This month I watched Dressmaker. It's a movie with Kate Winslet in it and I loved it. It was such an amazing surprise. I was with my mom and we were wondering what we were going to watch, so I was browsing Netflix and I saw this movie in my list and I said, okay, yes, I've heard about it and I want to see what it's all about. So we put it on. My mom fell asleep, but I was hooked. This story is so amazing, everything is so good. Kate Winslet is amazing in it, the costumes are amazing in it, the plot of the story, the love story it's amazing. I loved it, so I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously it was so amazing, I loved it. January, before starting uni again, I watched all the last season of the series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix. As you may know, I haven't read the books, I haven't finished it, I never finished it. I'm still reading them right now, but I need to continue actually. And so I never knew how the story ended. I know that they changed things from the series, but still it was interesting to see how the story was actually going to wrap up and how the characters were going to be. So I loved it. It was really amazing, really heartbreaking at some point, but I loved it. I love this series. The next movie I saw was I Feel Pretty on Netflix with Amy Poehler, this girl, and it was really nice. Once again, I watched it with my mom. I watched a lot of movies with my mom and it was funny and it was a cool movie to watch at night. And I love the message it conveys. You don't need to be pretty for people to like you, and you don't need to be pretty to be the best version of you and to do your best and to just be an amazing friend, an amazing person, to have people love you. And it's so great. I love this message because I'm not fat, I'm chubby, and it took me a while to accept my curves and everything, because puberty hit on me and I gained weight. And so it was hard for me to accept the fact that people could actually love me when I don't love myself. And so this movie is really amazing for that. And yeah, it was really great. So the next book I started and I'm currently in the middle of is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. So this is the conclusion to the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I'm sure you all know what it's about, but if you don't know, we're in a world where there are 4 different Londons. So the Grey London, that's it's our London. The Red London, where magic is really a big part of the world. The White London, that's a bit messy and magic is like, yeah. And the Black London, which was destroyed by magic. So yeah, and so we're following Kel, and Kel is what we call an Antari, and he has the ability to travel through the different worlds thanks to blood magic. And in the first book he meets this girl, Lila, and they go on an adventure and things happen, and so this is the conclusion. So far it is really intense and a lot of things are happening, and I can't wait to see how this book is going to end, because Sarah and Jenny read it and they loved it, and I love everything about this series. I love V.E. Schwab, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it, but I can't wait to see it. Next this month I also binge watched Sex Education on Netflix. I wasn't really interested in it, but my boyfriend told me like, you have to watch it, it's amazing, and so he forced me, like we were together and he put the first episode, and from then on I was hooked and I watched the whole series in today. So you can see that I really liked it. It's about this guy, Otis. And Otis, his mom is a sexual psychologist or something like that, a sexual therapist, that's the word I was looking for. And he has trouble with his sexuality, but there is this girl at his high school, and they're going to team up and to open their own therapy for the teenagers at their school, because they have a lot of problem, like sexual problem, and so Otis is going to help them, and they're going to earn money thanks to that, and a lot of things happening around that, and it's really amazing. It's changed a lot from all the things I've watched, and I can't wait to see season 2. I saw for the first time Inglourious Bastard by Quentin Tarantino. I've been wanting to watch this movie for so long, and it was really a great movie. I loved it. At some point I watched it with my mom, and at some point she told me like, close your mouth, and I was like that in front of a screen because I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. Like, oh my gosh, everything is so good, like, oh, the characters are freaking well written, I don't know, everything is amazing. I want to rewatch it now because it was really great. And the last movie I saw this month was The Age to Give. It finally came out in France. I was so happy, like I went to see it the next day it came out. I was so excited for this movie, like when it came out this autumn in England and in the United States. I was so pissed at France for only like playing it in January, but I saw it and it was really great. I'm so happy that such a book was made into a movie, because the message it conveys, it's so important nowadays with all the things that are happening with black people in the United States and all around the world. And I don't want to talk about things that I'm not an expert on, so I'm not going to go deep in this, but the things we see on TV, like the police violence and all the discrimination that still exists today. And now we have this movie, and it's so great, and I'm so happy that people who can't read or don't like to read can see this movie and see how this book is powerful. So I'm so glad for that. And the movie also was really great, really heartbreaking, but a masterpiece. So yeah guys, that's pretty much everything I've read and I've watched this month. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also to like this video if you did. Tell me in the comment down below what books you've read this month. I would love to know. And I will see you next time. Bye guys!